I want to demonstrate how to use your calculator to find confidence intervals. On web work, you're going to have to demonstrate your understanding of the formulas. However, you may want to be, when you've completed doing the confidence intervals by hand, you may want to check your answer with the calculator to see if you arrive at somewhere a close similarity to what the calculator gives you. So you'll need to use the formulas for doing the web work homework. You can use the following functions on your calculator to verify your calculations and for multiple choice questions on exams. If you have a part 2 type question on an exam, you're going to have to be able to demonstrate your understanding of the formula. So if you want to run a test that will help you come up with a confidence interval when you are given the population standard deviation and you are trying to estimate the population proportion, you go to your calculator, stat test number 7, Z interval, and you choose stats. Now, let me demonstrate this to you. Okay. This is new for us. We're going to go to our calculator. We're going to press Stat, go over to the Calc menu, go one more to the Test menu, and go down to number 7, Z interval. So the questions that we did from last lecture can be verified by using Z interval. At the top here it says Input, and you have a choice of either choosing data or stats. Press stats. If you press stats, you'll see how your input changes. You have a place for sigma, so that's the population standard deviation. You're going to get that right from the problem. You have a place for x bar, that also comes from the problem. You have a place for the sample size, and then you have a place for the confidence level, and this is going to be 0.95, 0.90, or 0.99. You're never going to put in here just simply 95. You have to put it as a decimal. So those are the 4 inputs that go into Z interval. When you've done with that, you go down to calculate, you hit enter, and it'll go to your home screen, and you will get a confidence interval. So we can make up some value here. Suppose we're dealing with a standard deviation of 12, a sample mean of 120, a sample size of 50 people, and a confidence level of 95%. When we go to calculate, you'll see in parentheses here the confidence interval. So you see the low end of the confidence interval and the high end of the confidence interval. It may not come out exactly like the one you get when you do it by hand because of rounding errors. So just keep that in mind. It should come close though. Okay, the next type of confidence interval is the one where you don't have the population standard deviation. You're going to go to Stat, go to Calc, and it's not Z interval, it's called, go to Tests. It's not Z interval, it's not number 7, it is number 8, T interval for the T distribution. You hit enter. Okay, when stats is highlighted up here, you can put in a sample mean, you could put in a sample standard deviation. I'm going to put in a number here just to show you. You put in your sample size, you put in your confidence level, and you press calculate. And you will get a low end of the limit and a high end of the confidence interval. Low end of the confidence interval and a high end of the confidence interval. If you want to practice using raw data, if you want to verify a question that involves the question that we had done before with male and female pulse rates, you're going to change stats over to data, hit enter when data is highlighted. And you're going to specify the list where your data exists. Now I still have on this calculator, I still have the male data in L1. So if I want to calculate a 95% confidence interval, I go down to calculate, I hit enter, and I'll see my confidence interval for males. Again, it may be slightly off than what we had gotten for the pulse rate because of rounding, but it should be close. Okay, so you'll have two types of ways to do t-interval. One where you have raw data, and in which case you want the data to be highlighted. And in the case where you don't have the raw data, you're going to put highlight stats.